Perf Talk is brought to you in part by gcrockboard.com, home of quality handcrafted pedal boards and your number one source for some of the best pedal brands in the market.
What are some of the other revenue streams without getting into details?
One of the things that a lot of people were telling me a couple of years ago was lesson products. So selling, a lot of people do this, selling like a lesson package online for either a set amount or maybe a subscription thing to your website or whatever. So that's one thing that I think is something that musicians should look into. And that's something I did last year with Udemy.
The slide guitar course, right?
Exactly. So that's been pretty good. I would like to do more lesson packages. It takes time and it's hard to organize. But I've gotten messaged by other companies to do lesson package things for them. Ideally, I would like to do it just for myself because then I'm making 100% of
right.
profit. But then you have to figure out, well, these companies have a lot of customers already, so you can play both things if you want or whatever.
Yeah. And they have the machinery in place to promote and produce all the stuff.
They know how to promote everything. It's built in, So that's something I'm considering. But what else? A lot of gear demo stuff is pretty much the bulk of the stuff that I do. So, those three things, and then we get like a little bit of Patreon, Teespring, affiliate. There's tons of things that I never knew that you could make income from. It's stuff that I just kind of discovered and kind of fell into it. Like, I would have never thought of making T-shirts. Yeah. I would have never thought that people would buy T-shirts with my logo or my name on it. But people do every month. It's crazy. That's something that I learned to do. Patreon, I never thought I would start a Patreon page. I'm like, I don't know, people who would want to throw me money every month for special things or whatever. But people do. It's amazing. And I do too. I subscribe to people's Patreons as well. So it's weird how the industries or new industries pop up, or other business ventures have popped up. Because if you asked me 5-10 years ago if I would have been making T-shirts or selling a guitar slide lesson package, I would have been like, no. So it's changing. Technology changes and business changes every day, so you got to keep up with it.
Well, I guess it's also maturity as well. I remember when I was younger, it would be like, oh, everything's about the music, man. I don't want to think about the business or money and all that. It's just, I just want to play. But now it's like, oh, okay. You want my shirt? Here's my shirt.
And it's funny because, I don't have employees. I do everything pretty much myself. So it's a lot of work trying to keep up with these different things. Everything from, people don't realize that I do all my video editing. I do all of my promotion. I do all of my Patreon stuff. I do all of the Teespring. I design the Teespring. Well, I don't design, but I put the designs on Teespring and arrange it, everything. And that's just, I don't have a team. There's some, big YouTubers that have a team to help them out. But I don't know about you, but me, it's just me. I'm constantly working. That's probably why I'm burnt out right now.
You're looking at my team.
Yeah, me too.
That's pretty much it.
That's kind of the beauty of it, is because, not that I'm a control freak, but the fact that I'm just doing it all on my own is very satisfying.
It's the same here too. You also learn as you go along, and it's the learning process that keeps me going too. It's like I'm designing this new shirt design, but then I'm learning to do it in Photoshop by myself,
Yeah.
and there's that whole process. But it's not a very efficient way to work. You know?
It's hard. I got lucky because I took like web design classes many years ago, but so I learned Photoshop back then, and so I know a little bit. Actually, I did some professional work as like a web designer in Photoshop stuff, so I have a little bit of skills in Photoshop to get by. Video editing is something that I had to learn. Camera stuff is something that I had to learn. Recording, I knew basic recording stuff, but now I've kind of learned how to sort of mix things for my videos and everything. So it's a lot of things to learn along the way, but lucky for me, I enjoy learning and nerding out about camera gear or like software and all that stuff. So you kind of have to have that type of personality.
Yeah. Okay. Top tips for aspiring YouTubers.
How many? I don't know.
Just be yourself.
Be yourself, because people will watch anything. Like literally, there's videos of just about the stupidest crap on YouTube with millions of views, and that just goes to show you there's people out there that will dig what you're doing. Usually, I guess. But yeah, don't try to jump on bandwagons and try to do the same lessons or gear demo styles as some other people. Just kind of do what you do. Do what you do through your personality and what gear you have available. Second one, let's see. There's a lot. I mean, a big tip that people talk about is consistency. Something that I learned maybe the first year that I was full-time YouTube. I mean, I knew about it. I just didn't know how to go about or to schedule my work so I could be consistent. I want to get to a point where I have videos a month in advance, but it never gets to that point. I think there's the best that I've ever done. I think I had videos like 3 weeks in advance, and then like I'm like, oh, I can just sit back and rest and whatever, and then like once they were uploaded, I'm like, oh man, I don't have any more videos. So it doesn't work for me, because when I know I don't have to do work, then I won't do any work. So I can't work ahead like that.
I think I've gotten to a point where I had like 4 or 5 videos scheduled, but then I take a look at the creator studio and I just feel that those videos get old, and I have this innate pressure I'll just make this public right now because I don't want to get old. So that's something that I constantly fight with.
Yeah, my schedule, I always do 2 videos a week. Sometimes more, but never less than that. So,
is that including the live stream or
that's separate
apart
from the live stream? Yeah.
Okay.
So I do 3 videos, I guess, with the live stream.
And is there a specific day that you release those, or?
It's usually like Monday and Thursday, but it's any spread along those lines. So it might be a Sunday and Wednesday, it might be a Tuesday and Friday, but I like to keep that space between my uploads. Yeah. But yeah, it's usually Monday, Thursday.
It's funny, we almost work the same way.
Yeah.
Mine is Tuesday and Friday. Unless I'm really excited, then I may release it like Monday, or I may release it like Thursday.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah. And then do you shoot for a specific time when it goes live?
I don't. So I don't schedule my videos automatically anymore. It's really I'll wake up and sometimes I'll publish it then, like when I'm still in bed, or I'll wait till I have breakfast and then do it from the table or whatever. So I don't have a specific like 8 a.m. every day, 8 a.m. every time or whatever. It's usually sometime before 10 a.m. my time. Unless a company specifically says do it at this time.
Okay. But those videos are already uploaded, but like unlisted or private,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay. So be yourself, consistency. Do you have another thing you want to add?
Yeah, it's I guess gear related. You can get started with your smartphone because the smartphones these days are really good cameras. The next step, like if you're using your iPhone or whatever to do videos, the next step would be to get better audio. So if there's a way you can separate the audio from the video, whether it's recording into your DAW or recording into like a Zoom recorder, and separating, like if you're doing guitar and talking about a lesson or whatever, separating your vocal mic from your guitar signal and mixing it in. So that's when you do have to learn a video editing software in order to do that. So that would be like my first initial steps to improve your quality. Start with the audio, and then as far as video quality, just improving your lighting would be the first thing. Before you go out and buy expensive cameras and lenses, just getting a simple softbox kit from Amazon does wonders for your quality of video.
Okay, I skipped this question earlier. For gear demos, okay, because do you keep the gear?
Yes. For the most part. I mean, like, it really depends on the company, and it depends on what the gear is. A lot of the guitar demos I have to send back. That's just the normal thing, which is fine because I have plenty of guitars and I don't have room to keep guitars. But like the pedal demos, for the most part, they let us keep because the cost to ship back and forth, and it doesn't really make sense. So they're okay with leaving the pedals with me. There's been some companies where they've sent me like the prototype or the only model that they had that I had to either send back to the company or send to another YouTuber or whatever. So that happens, and that's fine. I'm trying to think if there was ever a piece of gear that I had to send back that I really wanted to keep. But it really depends on the company. But I've got a ton of pedals.
And is that on top of your fee for demoing it?
Yes, usually. I mean, all of my relationships with companies vary widely. It could be a small, like my friend that has a pedal company. I might say, hey, just give me the pedal. I'll do the demo for free or whatever. Or it could be a bigger company, and it's a fee for the actual video, and then I get to keep the piece of gear or whatever. Or it's a mixture, maybe the fee is lower and I get to keep the piece of gear or something like that.
Okay. So, negotiation. That's the key.
Yeah. I don't have I do kind of have an average price that I like to do, but it kind of goes, above or under it, depending on the company.
Well, that's the thing, too, because for this to work, you need to know what your work is worth. That way it's not like, oh, well, just pay me whatever. Then or you say, oh, it's up to you. It makes it vague that way. I think.
I mean, I'm the type of person that's I'm modest, so I'm uncomfortable asking for my top line price all the time, and it's I'm getting more comfortable now because I've been doing it for so long. Now I have enough content up there. Now I have enough subscribers where I can be like, this is what I'm worth, because I have colleagues that are the same numbers. Then, I know what you're paying them. So just make it equal. And most companies are super cool and they're totally understandable. Right. I mean, I have a lot of YouTuber friends that are like, we're totally not charging enough, what we're delivering them and how we're helping promote their product and everything.
And the amount of work that we put into this stuff too.
Oh yeah.
It's not if we were to get paid hourly, it's nowhere near enough.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
even minimum wage.
Yeah, it's I try not to spend a lot of time on video editing and stuff, But if I was getting paid more, I would probably, do a lot of cooler stuff. Or I'd have more time to do cooler stuff and edit all this stuff and make it really cinematic and everything. But I can't. I have to do if I could do one video a week and have that fee be enough to pay my income for my paycheck for the week, that'd be awesome. Then I could spend a week on one video and make it the best thing ever. But I can't. I got to do 2 videos a day.
Wow, 2 videos a day.
Not so much anymore. There was a time last year was really good, but there was a good stretch of a couple weeks where I was just doing gear demo after gear demo every day, nonstop. Wow. So it's up and down,
So if that burns you out, imagine working like Henning. He does some insane amount of videos every day, 8 to 10 videos every day. It's how do you do that?
He has it kind of dialed in because of his setup and the way his videos are. He just kind of presses record and just goes and then
and then whatever comes out, that's what you get.
So I might do a 10-minute video for a pedal. He'll do an hour video for a pedal, which is great because people will watch that, and it puts eyes on this one particular product for a long time. So, and that's his style. If I did that, people would be like, "That's not RJ's normal style," He has it where he can do that, and that's kind of his signature. That's what he does.
Yeah, that's his niche. Aside from YouTube, you have a pretty strong Instagram game as well. Do you need the other social media to?
I like working on both, because what I do is I kind of work them both at the same time. So if I release a pedal demo on my YouTube, I'll use Instagram to promote it as well and direct people to go to my YouTube channel to watch the video. So I feel for what we do, those 2 platforms work the best. I'm not so much on Facebook a lot. I will post stuff on my official RJ Ronquillo Facebook page, but I don't really monitor it. I don't spend a lot of energy doing that. It's more just here it is. I have a Twitter account. I don't do anything on Twitter as far as promoting stuff, just because I don't think a lot of people are watching my Twitter page anyways. So I think YouTube and Instagram for me are the biggest, audience for me.
Okay. And what's a typical RJ Ronquillo day?
Nowadays?
Wait. Let me rephrase that. Let me say it again. What's a typical RJ Ronquillo day?
There you go.
Okay, thank you. A typical day: wake up, take care of the dogs. I exercise now. I have a stretching routine, and then I exercise before breakfast, which is something that I would never do. I usually would have breakfast, whatever. Then I have breakfast, and then I start work, which could involve starting to shoot a video, or planning out a video as far as if I have to write out a script or an outline for something I'm talking about. Sometimes I spend a whole day just making backing tracks for my videos. Okay. But a typical day is a lot of emailing and a lot of kind of, checking the comments on my social media and replying, checking my Patreon, checking emails, doing that kind of usually the first thing. And then I don't get started with video work sometimes till after lunch. It's
okay,
which is kind of the beauty of working for yourself, is you don't have to make a set schedule. Obviously, it's probably a good practice to have it scheduled and everything, but I usually work till about 4 p.m. and then I take care of the dogs again, and then have dinner. And sometimes I'll go back to work and work through the evening or whatever. But it really does vary, which is what I like because I'm my own boss. I can make my own schedule. I don't have, a manager or an artist that I'm working with that I have to be here for or be a certain place at certain times. So it's very comfortable.
Nice.
And then I go to the Turo Turo for dinner.
You ordered Jollibee.
My Jollibee.
Is there a Filipino community in Nashville?
It's super small. Like, no, there's literally one Filipino market /
Asian
restaurant.
store. Oh, restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's Asian stores, but there's only one that's like Filipino owned, and they have like a Turo Turo built in. And
Okay.
but that's not even in Nashville. That's like outside in Laverne, which is like 40 minutes from where I live. So
Wow.
I'll go there if I really need something, kare or something, and I don't want to cook it. So I'll go there like a couple times a year. And there's one restaurant that does like a fusion kind of fancy Asian with some Filipino dishes. But other than that, that's it. That's the only culture.
Yeah, but there are other Pinoys in Nashville, right? Like Aljon's from there.
Yes. Aljon, and then actually I've met not a lot, but I've met there's this one guy, I don't know if he contacted you, but he runs a company called Dream Audio in the Philippines.
Oh.
They're like they're a distributor for Universal Audio.
Okay.
But I guess he lives here, and so we've been talking about doing some videos. But it was weird, like he moved from the Philippines to Nashville. I'm like, who does that? And there's a couple. I think I've met a bass player who's Filipino.
Yeah, I think I saw him in one of your Instagrams. He's a touring bass player.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of his name. But and a handful of other Filipinos that I've met, but it's not like there's church. If I go to church, sometimes I'll see like a Filipino family there. I'm like, okay, there they are. Because there's not a lot of Catholic churches in the South. It's mostly, Baptist or Protestant or something.
Yeah.
So like the one Catholic church in town or in my area, that's where all the Filipinos go every Sunday.
Okay.
So that's where you find Crockett, which is the Cirrus J, the pink and teal, Ronquillo.
Ronquillo, yeah.
Yeah. And then, oh God, what did I say? Oh, my Sen Fullerton Strat. It's my favorite Strat.
Top 3 pedals.
Sus Mariosip.
That's three right there.
The Sus, the Mari, and the Osip.